Oh, look, folks. Look, the sun is coming out. Sparkling off of the water like so many diamonds. Beautiful. Anyway, hi, friends. How we doing? I can tell you right now that I'm doing pretty good. Give me a second here. I'm kind of running out of air. Getting a little hot and stuffy in the car because it's like 60 degrees outside. And though it's kind of a rainy day, spring has sprung. And as I look around into the woods, I can see flowering trees starting to bloom. In the last video, you probably heard the geese. They were mad at me. Anyway, I love spring, and I love all the seasons taken in different size chunks, right? I'm to the point in my life where I really don't want to do serious winter anymore, like I went through when I was growing up in Minnesota, or of course the winters that I lived through in all of those years that I lived in Alaska. And although I love it, I love to go to Minnesota, I love to go to Alaska, I love to travel, let's put it that way. And of course that's where my peeps are too, right? Mostly for the most part, Minnesota and Alaska. And when I'm there, especially when I'm out on the water on a boat doing things, it really affects me deep down inside. It's like my Viking blood just really comes to the forefront, and it affects my spirit. And I don't know, how do you explain that? How do you figure that out, right? My great grandpa came over from Bergen, Norway. That's one of them, of course. And a bunch of other ones came from different places. Some of my ancestors from Sweden, some from Denmark, some from Scotland, a little branch from Iceland, a little branch which makes me laugh from France, who was an African individual, and then one branch as well from here in North America. We believe that that came through the Oneida people, from the research that I've done and things like that. Anyway, all interesting stuff, right? You got to know everything that came before you to know really who you are. And understanding who you are helps you to understand the world around you, helps you understand really your place in the cosmos. And most of my novels and stories and whatnot talk about those things. And I seek to analyze them from a personal point of view, utilizing the characters in my books. One of the authors that I was fascinated by when I was younger was Carl Sagan. And I used to mimic one of his one of his, I don't know how you would call it, but he'd put his fingers together and he would say, billions and billions and billions. I don't know if you remember Carl Sagan, but when I was a kid, I started doing that, billions. I think it pissed people off, probably. Anyway, Carl was one of those people who really was a forward thinker. And he said he called himself an atheist / agnostic. He said he really couldn't be a full atheist because he believed at some point, at some level, the cosmos itself is conscious. It is more than likely an entity unto itself. And if that is true, then we were created by it. And maybe that's what people are calling God. And when he was asked about it, and other atheists would say to him, listen, there is no evidence that a God of any sort exists. And of course, Sagan refers back to Einstein, when Einstein basically said that, and Robert Lanza, where they talked about that the cosmos happens by determinate choices, and Einstein talked about that the more that I study science, the more that I believe in God, because I look at the design of the cosmos and I realize that there must be a designer. And Carl Sagan then followed up after that and said, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Right? And I know a lot of folks that kind of call themselves atheists, and they're kind of right on the cusp of what Carl is talking about here. And so just because you don't have enough proof, because maybe this energetic being that I think of when I think of God hasn't appeared right in front of me and said, hey, I need you to do this for me. All right? So a lot of people say, well, because that, there is no God. And it's made up by human beings, blah, 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 all of that. You've heard it all. And I'm with Carl on this. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. And so I'll put myself in the company of Sagan, of Einstein, of Hawking. You want to go back all the way to Galileo? I'll put myself in their club if they'd let me in, and just to say, listen, we don't understand everything, so you can't definitively try to claim that nothing exists and that all of this is random. Anyway, next thing Sagan had to say is, if you wish, to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. You gotta love that. And this is, of course, Sagan again alluding to, you know, creation, because you can't make an apple pie without everything else being invented to the point where you got the ingredients, right? I love that one. Next one. It is better to grasp the universe as it really is than to persist in delusion, however satisfying and reassuring. And again, this is another one of Sagan's discussions about organized religion itself. That it's so easy at times to give up on the responsibility, not just for yourself, but for the things that you are supposed to be accomplishing, and hand that off to a religious leader who, you know, does the whole whatever, does the whole thing, whatever that religion is comprised of. All right? Whether it's Judeo-Christian, and there's a myriad of those, you know, whether it's, God, geez, just about anything. And you just hand it over. And say, well, whew, I'm good. All right. In the Christian parlance, I have gone ahead and confessed my sins, and now I'm eligible for heaven. What complete bollocks. If you think you can go into a little box, tell some other dude the things that you thought you did that were bad, and then he can give you the Amos Deotum, and, you know, go do your penance, and then you're going to be able to go to heaven because of that? That don't fly. All right? That is, I want to say a swear word, but I'll say crap. And anybody that tells you that that is the case is leading you down the garden path to whatever you believe hell is. Do not persist in your delusion or anybody else's delusions, however satisfying and reassuring they may be. And I know we all reach a level of exhaustion. You watch all the things going on around the world, and you see the news, and you know that this side is lying to you this way and that side's lying to you that way, and you try to see as much stuff as you can so you can try to take this and take that and pull something together to make some sense. It is exhausting. But it's better than giving away everything that matters. Now all I can think of is apple pie. Thanks, Carl. That'll break my keto diet, won't it? Unless I make some keto apple pie. I do have some stevia and some green apples. I could probably do it. All right, folks, I'll let you go. Keep this one a little bit shorter than the last one. I'll chat with you later. Bye.